The number one disease of humanity isn't the flu or even malaria. It's something much deeper, and somehow much worse than these physical ailments. It's called the disease of always wanting more. Humans strive to get things and hoard things all the time, but they hardly are satisfied with what they have. Why does this happen, and how could humans possibly cure this? Let's start by further explaining how this terrifying disease manifests in people. You've probably met at least one or two people in your life who, despite having a successful business or job, a great lifestyle, a dreamlike relationship, and massive support network, seem to never be completely satisfied with what they've achieved. These people are, for lack of a better word, filled to the brim with an unquenchable thirst for more. It's a burning spark of ambition that drives them to succeed, yet never find any kind of pleasure in their success. Society has convinced us that we're always in need of getting better, that we need to always be improving ourselves. Which isn't really a bad thing on its own, but it's the implications of it and its subconscious effect on our mindset that turns this from a great mantra into a toxic disease of our mind and soul. When we need to be improving ourselves, we tend to subconsciously assume that we're doing something wrong. If we're in need of improvement after all, then it must be because we're lacking in some area. The term disease of more isn't just a nicely sounding figure of speech. It's actually a concept coined by Pat Riley, a Hall of Fame coach who's also led 6 teams to NBA championships, and one of them when he was a player himself. Riley had explained that the disease of more is why teams who win championships always end up being dethroned not by other teams, but by themselves. That's because the players, which are told, bred, and trained with a mindset of always being in training and learning new skills to become better, have now reached the pinnacle of their success. They've won the championship. Now what? Well, once they have their championship, it's not really enough anymore. The more now will become things not related to sports, such as money, brand endorsements, awards, rings, playtime, more spotlight, and drama. They want more of these immaterial things that they just can't obtain by playing more or winning more. What ensues now is a fight of egos. Everyone's a winner in the team, but who's the better player? Which one's earning the more money? Which one has the most followers? Now the team shifts its focus, going from a team to a civil war. And that's why they end up failing and being beaten by other teams. However, the real reason why our body is conditioned to want more is because of a little neurotransmitter called dopamine. Dopamine is known as the pleasure neurotransmitter, generated when we perform activities we consider pleasurable to us. Once we participate in those activities, dopamine makes us desire them more. When we're praised, we win an important competition, or we feel accomplished by something, dopamine is also released. Now we become addicted to this adrenaline rush linked with feeling like you've accomplished something you really wanted. But that's not really happiness, that's just pleasure. This phenomenon has quite a lot of scientific backing behind it. Neuroscientist Jaak Panksepp argues that the brain is composed of 7 core instincts: anger, fear, panic and grief, maternal care, pleasure, play, and seeking. Of all of these, seeking is the most important. All mammals have this seeking system, says Panksepp, wherein dopamine, a neurotransmitter linked to reward and pleasure, is also involved in coordinating planning activities. Animals' brains also reward them for seeking new information when exploring their surroundings. The human desire to seek is precisely why studies have shown that even achieving major goals or suddenly experiencing a financial windfall, like inheriting a sum of money or winning the lottery, doesn't cause long-term changes in happiness. Seeking itself, be it spiritual fulfillment, financial freedom, or simply a standard achievement, is on its own a fulfilling activity. The innate human desire to seek means that we can never truly feel that every desire and wish has been met. There will never be an end to your bucket list, your future goals, your plans, the things we want to achieve and see. Even when we've found what we're looking for, we immediately start looking for the next thing to seek. That's how the human brain works. Another important thing to note is that living a life of ambition, seeking, and goal achievement is fantastic when it's accompanied with a feeling of active gratitude, but when alone, it's just achievements. Harvard Health states that in positive psychology research, gratitude is strongly and consistently associated with greater happiness. Gratitude helps people feel more positive emotions, relish good experiences, improve their health, deal with adversity, and build strong relationships. You can have all the money and achievements in the world, but if you're grateful for nothing, it's like no matter what you make or do, life simply will not get any better. It's like everything falls into the black hole of things we take for granted. That's why once we buy something we've craved for a long time, we'll stop feeling any kind of happiness from it after a few weeks or even a few days. our mind will normalize it and proceed to seek something else entirely. Our brains are actually made to be attracted to novelty. That means we're fighting hardwired instincts to seek out something new and different every single day. Let's take a look at, for example, buying a car. When you enter the dealership, you're completely stoked for having the opportunity to splurge on something you really wanted. This new car has everything you want and everything you think you'll need. It'll make you the envy of all your friends. Well, within a few months, your new car won't be as impressive as it was when you bought it. It might even get damaged or dirty along the way, as you're probably buying that car to use it and not just have a car collection. It's also important to examine the socio-cultural effect of our surroundings when it comes to our desire for new things. Advertising, marketing, and mass communications all have an important role in all of this. We are constantly bombarded with ads that tell us how we need to live our life and how we need to buy all the new things and how we're supposed to want everything that's new, luxurious, and expensive. But is this really healthy? Is this really necessary? Usually it's not healthy for your wallet, and it definitely doesn't make your life any better than it used to be. We're told that we need to create a hole and then fill it, but that hole will never truly be filled. Shopping can cause the same endorphin release in your brain that's obtained during sex, taking drugs, or eating chocolate. It's thrilling to spend money. For a second, we think that the brand new thing we have will make our lives so much better. Of course, this stimulation wears off quickly, and like a drug, we soon want to have that euphoric feeling again. Finally, there are two other important sociological factors that tie into our obsession with wanting everything. First, we have social media. Social media was originally designed to provide us with a way of communicating with other people. But too much insight into what everyone else is doing, buying, or apparently feeling makes us feel inadequate with what we have. We can all relate to that guilty feeling of seeing someone doing something amazing on social media and feeling bad because we're not doing the same or better than them. That same feeling of inadequacy is what drives us to want to one-up other people. We want to keep up with the Joneses, to measure our happiness in our surroundings. That's why some people can even go into debt to keep up with their neighbors. They want to feel like the coolest kid on the block, and they correlate materialism and success with that notion. So how can we possibly cure that feeling? How can we stop craving things that we think we need, but actually don't? First, you need to be able to practice gratefulness. Be thankful for what you have, for what you've achieved, and for being alive. Practice this until it becomes a habit, and you'll be thanking the universe for your achievements in your life in general in no time. You'll be doing this subconsciously. Keep a gratitude journal. Establish a daily practice in which you remind yourself of the gifts, grace, benefits, and good things you enjoy. Ask yourself some easy yet deep questions that help ground you into reality. How are you feeling? Why are you here? Why do you need what you think you need? How will that make you feel when you get it? Ask yourself if you're happy with what you've obtained. It's easy to mistake success for happiness. After all, there's a huge sense of fulfillment and excitement when new things are obtained. But does achieving that really make you happy? Does that social media post of you stealthily bragging what you have actually reflect what's going on behind the camera? Take the time to write this down and get to know yourself. Meditate on it and live your life based on what makes you happy, not what marketing convinces you makes you happy. So what do you think of our analysis? Are you too a victim of the disease of always wanting more? Let us know in the comments.